What's up, my LV besties? Welcome back to another video. Candy Sweet Love for LV. My name is Candy. I love everything sweet, and I love everything LV. So, I know I look a little bit kind of, real bad today, but I'm going to do a get ready with me and let you guys watch me get ready. I don't know why. I literally zero makeup skills, you guys, so don't knock me for my makeup skills because I have zero. Okay, I think I've told y'all before, but anyways, so I'm going to show y'all a little bit of some Louis Vuitton items that I have here with me, and then I'm also going to go ahead and tell you guys about what I've been mentioning several times with the Montsouris BB bag, the story on why I got her, where I got her, and all that biz. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with telling you about my Nisi, I believe is how it's called in French, my Nisi BB. This is what I keep all of my makeup in, and I keep her on my nightstand because I have, my nightstand's actually really pretty, like how I have it decorated. So, like, she kind of just sets it off, like, and I did tie this bandeau on it just to make it look pretty. But, yeah, so I keep all of my makeup in this, but then when I travel, I carry my makeup in the cosmetic GM size pouch. It's easier that I don't want this to get ruined. Not that I want this to get ruined either, but I mean, like, I don't want to, like, ever pack this in, like, a suitcase or even really a traveling bag or anything because I don't want it to smash. It costs too much for that. So, yeah, she just stays here for looks and then for also just holding my makeup while it sits over there. So I'm going to talk to you guys while I get my makeup on, which this may be an absolute disaster because you guys know, I've already told y'all, when I'm multitasking in my head, things don't come out right. But we're going to give it a shot, okay? Because why not? So I'm getting ready because we are going to go out to eat tonight. No reason in particular, just gonna go for the heck of it. So I'm gonna primer my face real quick and let that dry and start talking about our trip to Covington, Georgia. Well, Atlanta, Georgia, and then Covington, Georgia. But I'm gonna put some in my, and by the way, on my primer, it's by Benefit. It's pretty good, I guess. I don't goodness gracious, this is a, yeah. Anyways, I don't, I've told you before, I really don't have any certain just main makeup brands that I just go back to every time. I mean, maybe there's been a few things that I've really liked, but most of the time, honestly, I'll go into Ulta or Sephora and let them match me with something as far as like foundation goes, and whatever they find me works. But this primer is really good. It's very smooth and silky. And yeah. And I've told y'all before, I don't do the whole different primer for my face and my eyelids. I use the same because I don't think there's any difference, quite honestly. Like, what could there be? I'm sure a lot of makeup pros know, but this one works for all my face. And it really doesn't take very long to dry at all. Like, it's almost already dried. So, yeah, we're going to go out to eat tonight. I think we're going to go to Texas Roadhouse because that's my daughter's favorite place to eat. But I would like for you guys to notice my hoodie. It says Mystic Falls, home of the, I believe it says Salvatore's. Yeah, home of the Salvatores. Up here it says, welcome to home of the Salvatores, Mystic Falls. Had to have it. I also got a Mystic Grill t-shirt. And then my daughter got like 3 or 4 hoodies. And she got like a blanket. All kinds of little stuff. So yeah, I just wanted y'all to see what I had on today. Because, you know, it's kind of going with the whole theme thing. Okay. So let's see if I can make up and story talk at the same time. So anyway, so my daughter was out on fall break. And literally, we are usually planners. Like, we usually plan ahead of time whenever we're going to take any kind of vacation or anything. But we didn't on this one. So, last minute, my daughter came in and she's like, can we please go to Georgia and go see where the Vampire Diaries was filmed? And this was probably about 2 weeks before her fall break. Okay, so she was asking to go on the fall break. And I was like, you know what? Let me look it up and see how far it is, because we didn't have any plans for fall break and I really wanted to get out and do something. So we looked it up and we seen it was only a 10-hour drive. And we're like, you know what? Yeah, let's just do it. Okay. So my husband and I started watching the Vampire Diaries like that night so that we could be kind of caught up on, well, at least have a little bit of insight of what we were going to look at. Okay. And then I texted my sister-in-law, because she's my traveling partner, and asked her if she wanted to go. And she had already seen the Vampire Diaries and the originals. And there was one other one. I can't remember. But anyways, she had already seen it, so she was like, absolutely, yes, I definitely want to go, like, because she loves the show. So, and plus, like, she will go anywhere. Like, she's a good traveling partner to have, because she is all about traveling. She's went on cruises with us. We've done a lot of things together, to the beach. And we loaded up that next day after she got out of school for her fall break. And we headed to Atlanta first, okay? So we wanted to go into Atlanta because I had never been. Like I told you guys before, if I go into any other state or any other country, I like to visit their Louis Vuitton stores. Now, however, that was not the only reason we went there. We had actually looked up, and we left on a Saturday, okay? We had actually looked up places or things to do in Atlanta because we wanted to see the city of it. And by the way, real quick, I'm using Pharmacy. I don't know if you guys can see this or ever heard of this, but it's by Pharmacy. My friend sells it, so I thought, you know what? Like I told you before, I'll try anything. But I do like it. It's a pretty good foundation. It's a little bit dark for my skin. I need to get a different color now because I start losing. We have a pool, so I get tan in the summertime, and as the fall, as most people do, as the fall and stuff rolls around, then I start getting back to looking like a ghost. So anyways, this is getting a little bit too dark for my skin, so I got to order me something else or go get something else. But anyways, so we loaded up that Saturday and headed to Atlanta. And we got there it was already dark by the time we got there. So we basically just got a hotel. And when I say we winged this trip, like we totally winged it. Like we did not make any reservations for anything. No hotels, nothing. Because again, we just threw it together in about a 2 weeks period of time. My husband and I were more trying to get some of the Vampire Diary episodes in so that we could know what was going on. And yeah, we totally winged it, okay? I'm going to have to pull out my little mirror so I can kind of see what I got going here. But anyway, so we went to Atlanta, and that night in the hotel, we just started looking at like things to do. And for the next day, by the way. So it was kind of bad on the timing when we left because we left on a Saturday. We got there on a Saturday night. So there wasn't a whole lot of things to do on Sunday. So a lot of movies and TV shows were filmed in Atlanta. So we wanted to go and just see what we could see of that. Well, all the tours were closed basically for that day on Sunday. So we really didn't get to, we weren't going to get to do that. We just didn't think it through on the time that we left, but that's okay because we still got to see some pretty cool stuff. We stayed in Atlanta for a solid day. But anyways, we first went to the Louis Vuitton store. Okay. And I'll tell you about that. Okay. Right after I tell you what else we did in Atlanta. We're going to get Atlanta out of the way because that's not the main story here. But we found out some of The Walking Dead was filmed there, which we watched all of those seasons. And I believe it was season 2 when they were in Woodbury. So they filmed that there. And they had the whole town, or the whole it wasn't a town. It was more of like a street with a lot of stores and things set up. And it was around where they filmed that scene, all those scenes in the second season. And at Woodbury. And we ate at Nick and Norman's Cafe, which is also pretty cool. I mean, that was really cool. It's owned by Nick, which is the director and the producer. Nick is just part of his name, his last name. And then Norman is Daryl in The Walking Dead. So they both own that restaurant. And it was amazing food, y'all. Amazing. And I asked our waiter if they had ate there before. You know, like, just curious if they had just did the store just got the restaurant going or whatever and never came back, you know. But he said no. He said that actually the whole crew had ate there a lot. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. That's awesome to know. Because we loved The Walking Dead. Like, kind of got a little old at the end of the last few seasons. But for the most part, we loved The Walking Dead. And then we went and they had The Walking Dead store. And that was pretty cool. And I'll insert some pictures here or there, one of the two, of a few things that we saw in there. And that they had a really cool store set up for that. A lot of souvenirs. And we did get a few souvenirs, but we mostly took pictures because like it was a really, really neat souvenir shop for sure. So anyways, we went to the Louis Vuitton store. We went to the big mall in Atlanta, Georgia, and then I went into the Louis Vuitton store. So, actually, we did go there first because I remember thinking I wanted to be there at 10 when they opened because I know how these stores, like, if you don't get there because now you wait in line and you have to wait for an SA to come get you if you don't have an appointment. Or you have to, the SAs will come get you if you have an appointment. But if you don't, you wait your turn for an SA to free up. So I knew I better be there at 10 o'clock if I did not want to spend all day long there, which I did not want to spend all day long there, okay? Because I had my daughter and my sister-in-law and my husband who was not going into the store, okay? So I didn't want them to basically have to just sit, just wait on me. And actually, I was the very first in line. I was so super excited. And let me tell you guys, I got there about 9:30, I want to say, because the mall was already open. Just some of the stores weren't, or most of the stores were not. And I was the first one in line. And let me tell you what, by the time 10 o'clock rolled around, that line was wrapped all around. It was forever long. So I was so happy I made that decision, okay? Because I would have been there for 2 hours probably. I shouldn't say 2 hours. But I would have been there a good long while trying to get into that store. So, yeah, yay. And then real quick, I'm going to show you guys what I use on my eyes, okay? The Kylie Jenner palette. Mostly nudes. I usually always stick to nudes. Always. I don't go for the bright, vibrant colors. Nope. So, leave this out. So, anyway, so we, I know a lot of people, by the way, put their eye makeup on first. But, yeah, I don't follow the makeup rules. So, anyways, so I was first in line when it opened. An SA, or a greeter came out and asked me if there was anything I was looking for in particular, and I was actually not looking for anything in particular at all. So she got me to an SA, and he was super cool. I have him saved in my phone. I don't contact him a lot because I have enough that I already have sending me stuff already, and Atlanta is huge, so. I'm sure I'm like way down on the list of his, of sending me bags. I mean, for sure. So, but he was very nice, and you could barely even move in that store, you guys, because it was slammed packed. They took in twice as many as they do in the other boutique stores, whatever. I call them different ones every time. They take in probably twice as many or 3 times as many as the other ones that I've been into. So anyway, so I wanted to get a bag from there because it was going to be a little road trip, vacation, whatever you want to call it, to remember. And as I've mentioned earlier, that's something I like to do when we go places, is get something from a boutique mall store, if they have one, okay? And so they didn't have one in Covington, but they had one in Atlanta. So anyways, I mean, he was pulling bags out left and right for me. And I always go in and I always ask to see the canvas bags because they are my favorite, as you all know. But then anything else that they have that's new, or if I see something setting up on display, I ask to see it or whatever. So I probably had 5 or 6 bags I was looking at. And if you know me at all, you know I'm a very indecisive person. So whenever I go and look at bags, it takes me forever to decide, especially if I'm buying just one. If I'm buying one, we're going to be there a while. However, I was trying to hurry because I knew my family was outside waiting on me. By the way, Walmart CoverGirl eyeliner. It works great. It doesn't run. And I didn't show y'all my eye pencil. And this is by e.l.f., which is like $2. And let me tell you what, it's my favorite because all I basically do is just fill in my super blonde or my light brown eyebrows. I don't go crazy with those. Okay? So he had probably 5 or 6 bags out for me to look at. And I will tell y'all, this one was one of them because I seen it sitting over there on display. And I have, I know I've told y'all, I have the Montsouris. I don't know if it's an MM or if it's just a larger size. But I have this same bag in the larger size, okay? There's only 2 sizes of it. The large one and this one, the BB. So I have it already, but it looks so cute sitting over there on display. All right, and I have the Palm Springs Mini, and I like how I can carry the Palm Springs Mini as a crossbody or shoulder bag. All right. So this was one I had. The Black Artsy, which I do have now, but I did not buy that then. There was, I don't even remember. Oh, I know he had a, the Sack Plat BB. I know I was looking at that one. I looked at the Sack Plat MM. I believe that's the size of it. I looked at several, but when I was trying to choose, I was having a hard decision, okay? So I just got to talking to him and telling him, he was like, yeah, what are you, are you from here? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, we're just in town to visit because after we leave here, we are going to go over to Covington, Georgia because we're here to, or we're going over there to see where the Vampire Diaries was filmed. And he said, well, then I can probably help you to make your decision on the bag. And I was like, oh, all right, go for it, So he told me, and let me tell y'all, he also had some of the leather. I don't know what type of leather it's called, but it's those big hobo bags, and it's like a real light leather. I don't know, but they're like $4,000 bags. Okay, this one was not. This one was like a $2,000 bag. So he was not actually trying to just make a sell off of me by what he told me, or he would have said the other bag by all means, because I never gave him a price range. I just was looking at them. So I believe what he was telling me for the fact of that reason right there, that he could have said that about the $4,000 bag that I was looking at also. But he didn't. He said, so I can help you choose which one if you're really into the Vampire Diaries. And I was like, yeah, I am into the Vampire Diaries, so go for it, And he said, well, I'll just give you a little story. And I was like, oh, cool, because y'all know I like story time. And I was like, oh, cool, okay. And he said that while the Vampire Diaries was being filmed, he said, I'm sorry, you guys, my phone's going off. I forgot to turn it on. Vibrate. Hold on. Or silence. But it still vibrates. Okay. Anyways, he said when they were there filming or whatever, not in Atlanta, but in Covington, he said some of the crew and some of the actresses came to the Louis Vuitton store there in Atlanta. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. And he said, I can't tell you who. And he said, I can't tell you which bag. He said, but I will say one of the main actresses did buy a backpack bag from here. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, I know that may not be a big deal to a lot of people, But like that made me choose this. That was the main reason why I chose this. Okay, now I don't believe it was this backpack because I don't think this one was out at the time. And he didn't tell me which. I don't think he could like say really a whole lot. Like I think they have to like keep everything on the download with the whole actresses and stuff coming in their stores and stuff. So anyways, but that was enough for me. He didn't have to tell me who. He didn't have to tell me which kind of backpack or anything. So that is why I bought that one, because an actress of one of the actresses of the Vampire Diaries bought a backpack in that store. And I was also excited about just the fact that I was in the Louis Vuitton store that they had came into. And I'm going to hope that actress was Elena. I'm just going to just like tell myself that's who it was, because she's my favorite actress, okay? So yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I bought that bag, and that was it. We left the mall, and then that's when we headed over to the place where they'd filmed in The Walking Dead, Woodbury, blah, blah, and I'll tell you all that business. Okay. So we seen all that, and Gone with the Wind was also filmed there, and they had like some things you could tour, but again, it was Sunday, so they weren't open, so we didn't get to do that. Pause while I show y'all what I use for my mascara. And this is by Too Faced, and it's called Better Than Sex. Y'all, why do they do this? Why do they name their makeup products crazy names like this? Why? Because whenever I'm shopping in there with my daughters, well, it's not so awkward with my older daughter anymore, but it is awkward with my other daughter, and we're looking at makeup, and we have to run across, and there's other makeup things that are called worse than this, okay? It's like, why would y'all name it that? Y'all may have y'all's opinion on why it's named that. I don't know. But it's embarrassing when you're with your kid, okay? Anywho, moving on. So, at that point, we drove over to Covington because we couldn't do anything else in Atlanta. And we had already seen the beautiful skyline that night before. And let me tell you, it was beautiful. Like a beautiful skyline. Literally loved it downtown. So we'd already done that. And there was nothing basically else we could do. So we just went ahead and drove over. And it was only a 30-minute drive from Atlanta to Covington. So that's what we did. And we went ahead and went over. And first, when we got into Covington, we first just went and got our hotel, we were looking up hotels on the way. So we went and got the hotel that we were going to stay in or whatever, and took all of our stuff in that way, because we were going to stay there the next 2 nights. And we were only able to stay for 4 days, I believe. Yeah, because we have a festival here in our hometown, and my daughter was in the parade for cheerleading, so we had to be back in time for her to be in that parade. So we were on a little small time span here. So anyways, we had to do everything in a quickness, for real. So we got our stuff and got all of our stuff in the hotel, and yeah. So then we went downtown to where the Mystic Grill was. Oh goodness, just a moment. The Mystic Grill, the little park, I guess that's what you would call it. The little park where they were always walking around, where the benches were. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you've seen the Vampire Diaries. All that was. So, let me tell y'all, whenever we pulled up and my daughter seen the Mystic Grill, and we actually pulled up like down a street, and you could see it like across, because everything was kind of like, well, not everything that was filmed there, but a lot there. Where the Mystic Grill was, there was a lot of like boutiques and stuff around the square. Okay, so the Mystic Grill is on a square, around the square, so she could see that from a distance. Okay, I thought she was going to jump out of the car, She literally almost cried. No lie, she did. And she was just in heaven, which I was too. Like, I mean, I was so excited because, I mean, so much is filmed through with, with the Mystic Grill in it. So much of it is. So anyways, we went and parked. We found a parking spot, and it just so happened that Covington, the town that we was in, they were also out on their fall break. So there was a pretty good bit of people. And I was afraid that we wouldn't even be able to find a parking spot, but we did, and we parked, and y'all, it was so cool. I mean, I'm telling you guys, the Mystic Grill looked exactly like it looks in the series. And now inside of it, I will definitely say things were changed up a little bit. Like, definitely it was, I mean, there was a lot of it that looked exactly like it, like in the bar area that looked the same, but there were some things that they had in the movie, obviously, that they did not have in there anymore. But it was a full service restaurant. I mean, you could go in, sit down and eat, but outside of it had the same chairs and table that like Elena and Damon ate at, and so many, like, throughout the show ate there, and it showed them sitting there, or it showed them on the show sitting there eating. So that was pretty cool because they left all of that the same, and they all around that square they had their actual names, because I'm calling them by the names off the show, but they had their actual names like engraved, kind of like in Hollywood the stars, how they have all that. Well, they had that for them there, and it was cool. So we went around and we found everyone that we could possibly find, and we were mainly looking for the main characters. But anyways, we found a whole lot, and so my daughter could take a picture with all of them, and I'll insert some photos again with that. And then also we went into, they had two souvenir shops, and one of them, they had told us that the first 5 episodes of The Dukes of Hazzard was filmed there. And no lie, when we stepped back out of that store, we seen a truck pulling the Dukes of Hazzard cars around. I don't know why. Like, they were all on the trailer. Like, it was like the Judge's car, the Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know all their car names, but I know the Dukes of Hazzard car and all that. So they had them on a trailer, and they were there for some reason. So we took some pictures of that, and so we thought that was pretty cool. And they had some souvenirs from the Dukes of Hazzard. But yeah, so whenever we were in that store, we did ask the guy that ran it about doing a tour, because we thought we were going to get to go do a tour of the whole Vampire Diary thing, because they offer tours there. Well, y'all, this show was filmed back in 2009. Sorry about my cough. 2012. I don't even know. Sorry, y'all. My allergies are in full swing still. This show was filmed forever ago. Okay. Do y'all think I, for 1 second, thought you would have to plan a tour that far in advance? Because as far as they said they were booked up through March of next year on the tours. I was like, are you joking with me? Like, and then we were like so upset because, like, that's what we came to do, was tour where they had filmed the Vampire Diaries. Okay. I mean, like, yeah, we got lucky that we pulled up to where the Mystic Grill was, and then across from the Mystic Grill was the big clock thing where they jumped off a lot, and I got some pictures of that as well. And it was really neat because at one point they actually had the balcony of the Mystic Grill on top of it closed, but we asked them if we could go up there since my daughter was like tripping the whole time that we were even there, and they did let us go up there. And whenever we got up there, we took some pictures, and I'll insert a picture of this, but it had like crows on the top of it. So it was so creepy looking, and it was kind of actually cloudy that day, so it just really fit the whole vibe. I mean, it was really neat. But anyways, so back to my tour story. So So yeah, so he told us, he's like, yep, and he said now there are several people that do tours. He said, but I can tell you, people book these things a year ahead of time. I was like, and we were trying to book it that day, so we were a little disappointed because like we really wanted like a thorough tour of all of that, and even as I mean, like I said, my husband and I was not as far. Well, my daughter had finished it, and I believe, yeah, she had finished it, and my sister-in-law had finished it, so they knew everything, and we weren't as far into it, but I wanted her to get to see as much as she possibly could. Okay, so disappointed about that, but I guess that's what you get for not planning ahead. And by the way, what I just used for my blush is by New Skin. I don't know if you guys have heard of that or not, and it's just the little bronzing pearls. Okay, they work really well because, well, there went a few pearls, and I better grab those, or the little Coco and Lulu will eat them, and I do not want them. That might make them sick. But anyways, this kind of works pretty good because it's, I don't know if you can see it on film or not, but it kind of bronzes. It's got a bronzing to it, and then also some like pink blush in it. So yeah, works perfect. That's it. That's what I do. This is a very quick look. My lipstick is a matte lipstick, and it's by NYX. Okay. This is going to be cute. Hold on just one moment. I got another mirror over here beside me. It's my stand-up mirror for whenever I want to see my clothes. Anyways, done with the makeup. Bye-bye. Gone. I do a quick face. I rarely contour, highlight, any of that kind of business. Unless I'm like going somewhere cool. Okay? But we're just going to Roadhouse to eat. So that's what I do. That is my quick face. Bye-bye. You're going over there. You're in my way. Boring. Tired of it being in my way. So I can finish telling my story so we can end the video. Okay? So where was I? Left that out. Put that in later. So yeah. So we found out that we could not do a tour. So we were a little upset about that. But that's okay. Because we were just happy to be there. Honestly. We were happy to see the Mystic Grill. Like, that was probably my favorite part, was seeing that. But he also told us, he said, I tell you what, he said, I will give you guys a map of, and it shows on there a lot of the, like, homes that the actors and actresses stayed in, their homes, you know, when they were there. And he said, it will tell you, you know, where they are, and there is a lot of things on that map that you can go visit that was in the video, in the series. So it was actually great because it took us to Elena's house, Caroline's house, and we were able to go up and take pictures, by the way. It took us to Bonnie's house, Graham's house, the Salvatore's house. Oh, I will definitely insert a clip with the Salvatore's house because that was awesome. They even had a guard sitting there, so you really couldn't get very close up because, I mean, there was they had a beautiful gate, but the house was pretty far back. So he was sitting in front of, like, the brick walkway in front of the gate. He was even sitting in front of that. So he wouldn't let you go very far. But we got as far as we could and took some pictures of the Salvatore house. And it was, y'all, beautiful. I mean, it was so cool. Like, it was so awesome. And and you know, they had a lot of events there so we got, I mean, you could see all of around the house, and it was just neat because we knew so many events were held there, and it was just so neat. And then so we went there, and then we also went to the Salvatore's house when they were younger, when Damon and Stefan was younger. So we got to see that. And that house was pretty cool. And I want to say that's all of the houses that we've seen. But we went to Wickery Bridge. And in the show, you don't see much traffic, obviously, because they shut it down. But you have to the traffic is crazy through there. So you're really having to like run out and look at it and then run back and run out, look, back and forth. But we did that because we wanted to take pictures, and I got some beautiful pictures of the Rickery Bridge. But as you guys know, and y'all, my hair's up because I have to pull it back when I do my makeup. So we went there, and we took a lot of pictures there, and it was so beautiful. And it literally, y'all, everything. And I don't know, because I've never visited anywhere besides when we went to that little small area from The Walking Dead. I've never visited anywhere where they filmed a movie before. Now, my sister-in-law has. She's done a lot. She's been an extra in a lot of different movies. And so she has seen a lot. And as a matter of fact, her and her son were both in the movie, The Little Mighty Orphans, I believe it was what it called. I'll end up putting it in here. They were both in there, and you can see her really well. So she's used to seeing this stuff, but we were not. So this was the first time. So it was so cool. And then also when we went to the Mystic Grill, like we ate there twice, and y'all, let me tell y'all, I expected really kind of food that was just okay. A lot of those restaurants just aren't good, but this one was to die for good. Like it was, oh my gosh, like we were in like food heaven. It was amazing food. And we really didn't expect it, because we expected it to just be more of, just going in and getting to look around. And that's more what they cared about. And then we went to the bar area where Damon and them had sat. And on the back of some of the chairs, it had Damon's name in it, engraved in it, and Klaus's name engraved in it. And it had their name, their real name, and then Damon and Klaus underneath. And of course, so we had to get a picture sitting in those chairs. And then when you went into the bathroom, oh my gosh, the bathroom was nothing but writing all over the entire thing, where everybody was putting Team Damon, Team Stefan, I love you, just everything about the Vampire Diaries. So that was cool. And I was trying to think of what else was neat in there. Oh, they had pictures on the wall, like when you went upstairs, because they had a little section upstairs that you could go in, and it was like a little seating area. Now, I don't think this was anything that they did in there, but it was just more for looks, like some of the, they took some of the things from the scenes and set around in there. And as you were walking up the stairs, they had like pictures of all of the actresses and stuff that were in there eating, and they took their picture. And I don't know if it was when they were eating during the time they were filming, or when they just came back and ate, because there was also pictures of different actors and actresses from different TV shows and such that they took pictures of as well. And then they put it in a frame and hung it on the wall. And there was tons. There was a ton of them. So many actors and actresses had visited Mystic Falls Grill. Okay, so that was pretty cool. And then and then you could go out, and just like on the movie, you could walk down and go into the alley, and behind the alley they had a souvenir shop, another one. So it was neat, because in that alley is where they had filmed I believe the scene where Damon killed, what was her name, Alexis. I know that was part of, or he killed her in that alley. And there were several things that my daughter had told me, but some of it was things that we had not got to yet. So, but she told me a lot of things were filmed in that alley. So that was pretty cool there. And then the souvenir shop was pretty neat. And we got my daughter got the blood bag, and she got Damon's ring, and then a lot of hoodies and things like that. But they had their clothes hanging up on mannequins that they actually wore. I know it was all the main characters. Like, how Damon wore mostly that black, button-up, oh God, that black button-up shirt, long sleeve. Yeah, that was in there. And a lot of the dresses that the girls wore in all the events that they had them hanging up, and then they had their signature sign on things, and they had their football where Stefan I think it was Tyler that played football. Like they had their helmets where they had signed them, and their jerseys that they wore in the show. It was cool. So they had a lot of neat stuff in that shop. And then apparently Damon and Stefan in real life made a type of whiskey, bourbon whiskey, and so they had that set up, and you could buy their whiskey if you wanted it, which was pretty cool. And so they had that. That was neat. So anyway, so after that, we went to the graveyard because it was kind of getting. Wait, yeah, we went to we went to the football stadium. We couldn't find the school. It said the school on there, but the school did not look like the school on the show. Okay, so I'm not real sure what they did. I don't know if it was actually filmed at that one or not, but it was on there. But the football stadium was away from the school, so we went there, and it was grown up, but it looked exactly the same as it did in the show. So of course my daughter had to walk up on the bleachers where the scene where Elena was tempting Stefan to see if he still cared about her. So she was jumping over the top of the bleachers to see if he would catch her, and he did. So my daughter had to walk up there, and we took her picture up there. Anyways, that was pretty cool. And then it got a little bit closer to dark, so we went to the graveyard. And before we had left, my daughter had actually pulled up some pictures off of Google or something, and there was one that she wanted to reenact, which is when Damon was walking through the graveyard, and I'll insert that one as well. And he was walking through the graveyard, and it's got his back turned, and you could see all the different graves and stuff in there, but she wanted to reenact that exact same picture, like of her walking through it. And so we literally, we zoomed in and we found exactly where he walked. And it was hard because there was so many like monuments and stuff in there, and so it was hard to figure out which one it was. So we zoomed and we found it, you guys. Like we found exactly where he walked. And so she walked, and I took her picture and I put it on Facebook and stuff of her, her picture besides his picture. And it was so cool just knowing that he walked through there. And I believe it was the episode when he was going to talk to Klaus. I think that's what it was. Don't hold me to that. But anyways, it was just neat because like that was something she did, and she just wanted that picture, and it totally cool. And so yeah, so we did that, and the next day we just kind of went back around and ate at the Mystic Grill again, and took more pics, and went into the boutiques. We kind of just did some shopping. Now those boutiques were regular, actual like working boutiques of normal clothing, not anything to do with the Vampire Diaries, but they had some pretty cool little shops, and so my daughter bought some clothes and stuff like that. And yeah, I carried this all around. Yep, because she was my bag for that week for sure, and it was great. It was a great time. And we want to go back because now we're almost done with the Vampire Diaries. So I want to go back now since I know more of and do the tour. But I want to definitely book the tour first. And because I know what they told us with the tour, they go into details of everything. And it was so much more than like where the tomb and stuff was, where Catherine was. Like they had a spot area for that, and you like kind of got to go in that. So we really didn't get to do like all the really cool things that they had to offer. But I do want to plan another trip back there so we can go and do that, because if you've never been, it's a super place if you love the Vampire Diaries and you really want to see like something that looks just like stuff in the show, definitely go, because it was a neat little trip. And it made us now want to start going to other places, other towns that film movies and stuff. And so our next one is going to be in Albuquerque, where they filmed Breaking Bad, because that was another one of my husband and my favorite shows. And my sister-in-law is almost finished with it, and I think we may go over Christmas break, and we're going to go there, which we went through there when we went to California, and we did stop at the little souvenir store, but we couldn't stay long because we were headed to go see the Grand Canyon and we were on a time span there as well, and we were headed to California, so we couldn't stay couldn't stay long, but we are going to go back there and do that tour. And it's neat because you can they'll tour you in the RV where Walt and Jesse cooked the meth or whatever. And so, yeah, so you can take a tour in that. So we're definitely going to book the tour, which we looked it up and they're not booked up. So that's great. So we're going to book that here in a few weeks. And yeah, so I'll probably vlog whenever I go there because that's going to be super, super cool because that was an awesome show. But anyways, I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys because I've said a few times about my purse and going to Covington, Georgia, and now the story has been told. So I will end this video with please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You guys are helping me out so much by subscribing. I'm getting a few more every day, at least 3 to 4, maybe I don't know, but I'm getting a few more subscribers every day and a lot of views. One of my videos hit 1,000 views, and it was, oh gosh, that was the second one I did. It was like real bad, but the bag was cool, so it's probably why it was over the loop bag. But anyways, so yeah, you guys are really helping me out by subscribing and viewing my videos because I'm having a lot of fun doing this. And one day I will not be so nervous in these, and I will probably slow down with my talking some. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or not because I always have a lot of stories. Maybe it's better when I'm talking all cray-cray so we can get through the videos. Anyways, so I hope you guys have a great night. We're about to head out to go get some dinner, and I will see you guys for another video tomorrow. Goodbye.